Good evening and welcome to UBC News Tonight at 10 p.m. with me, Sharon Kyomugisha. Today, the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robert Nabbanja, has emphasized the importance of whips in strengthening the effective monitoring of government business in the management of Parliament. The Premier says that the newly created regional and zonal whips will make members of Parliament more disciplined to make the NRM party more effective in Parliament. Take a look.
This induction is dedicated to strengthen the whipping and the coordination of government business in Parliament. The government will rely on you in your regions and zones to be the first point of contact between the members of Parliament, the government chief whip, and my office. While chairing your committees and identifying strategic areas for government, you also do the whipping. The government, regional, and zonal whips occupy a strategic position in the partnership between the executive and the legislature by building consensus, facilitating communication, and strengthening cooperation among members of Parliament. And we need to treat the sittings of Parliament not as ordinary sittings. The House cannot transact business without quorum. The numerical strength the NRM has to be coordinated, because if you don't, people will not attend. The whips need to act as early warning systems. If there are issues in your constituency, instead of washing our dirty linen in public, we can act on them, uphold integrity. Conduct yourselves in public and in private at a level befitting your status.
Our committee whips, your role will equally be critical in ensuring effective coordination within parliamentary committees and strengthening the participation and contribution of our members to the legislative and oversight functions of Parliament. The 12th Parliament must work effectively, and the whipping structure has an important role in ensuring this. Exchange ideas and build working relationships. Please network.
As members of Parliament, we need to reinforce unity in advancing the government legislative programs in Parliament. When we caucus, therefore, we need to have one voice to support government policies and programs. The last is about recognizing the value of accommodating divergent ideas as means of strengthening the debate, consensus building, and the overall quality of parliamentary business.
Whips, the chairpersons of committees,
The first Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for East African Affairs, Honorable Rebecca Aritwala Kadaga, has urged the Council of Ministers of Defence and Security of the East African Standby Force to remain firm and work for the common good of the region. Kadaga made the remarks while opening the 36th Ordinary Session of the Council of Ministers of Defence and Security for the East African Standby Force contributing countries, held at Sheraton Hotel in Kampala.
On Thursday, defense chiefs and security heads for national armies for East Africa Standby Force contributing countries held a high-level meeting to discuss the funding of the joint force and regional security threats. A number of issues came up at the summit, discussed and adapted.
It is therefore imperative that we chart common solutions to these common challenges. I urge all member states to continue supporting EASF to enable it to effectively fulfill its mandate and contribute to lasting peace and security in our region.
The document was signed and forwarded to the Council of Ministers of Defense and Security for considerable approval.
The stability of Somalia, the stability of Africa is our concern. And you all, as Ugandans, must be concerned when there is any kind of
ability of our member states.
Addressing the Council, the Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, who doubles as the chairperson of the Council of Ministers, Honorable Chiwachiwanuka, stressed the importance of sustained support from member states to ensure EASF's long-term sustainability and operational readiness.
We must remain vigilant to the changing nature of security threats. The Research and Development branch of EASF should be proactive and forward-looking. It should provide timely, evidence-based advice through stronger research, strategic analysis, and lesson learned mechanisms.
The First Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister for East Africa and Community Affairs, Honorable Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga, reaffirmed Uganda's commitment to regional peace and security. Kadaga also highlighted the importance of collective action in confronting shared challenges.
Lasting peace is achieved when political leadership, effective institutions, capable security services, and resilient communities work together in pursuit of a common purpose. This is a vision that inspired the creation of East African peace and security architecture. It is a vision embodied by the Africa Standby Force. Over the years, the force has evolved in far more than a regional standby arrangement.
The Council addressed key issues, including force readiness, resource mobilization, and force preparedness. Haruna Mtesasira, UBC News.
The Parliamentary Committee on Presidential Affairs has warned parish development committees against extorting money from beneficiaries of government programs. The committee made the warning during an assessment of the ongoing cattle restocking program in Teso sub-region. Take a look.
The Parliamentary Committee on Presidential Affairs has assessed the ongoing cattle restocking program in Teso sub-region. The committee, led by Gulu West MP Martin Mapenduzi, brought together leaders from the 11 districts of Teso to assess the implementation of the cattle restocking program.
So if 3 people who are not from that parish are smuggled in, who now loses? It is the owners of the what? The parish. So the focal point person makes sure these names are pinned.
During the assessment, the committee received reports that some parish development committee members and local leaders have been allegedly demanding money from beneficiaries and favoring their relatives during the selection process.
The NOC2 of Asuret in Oregia Parish, Jackson Okwaya, who took 5 million from Akajo Betty, also was arrested and recovered 5 million. There is no person we go to know that stole money and we arrested and has not refunded money. All the monies are refunded.
The committee warned officials involved in mismanaging taxpayers' money over likely implications.
They detected where a parish chief, after money is paid, got in touch with the beneficiary, collected the money from the beneficiary, the 5 million, all right? And recovery has been made, and the matter is, the file is before the DPP. As a committee, we want to make it extremely risky for people to play around with government programs, for people to play around with taxpayers' money. And so in doing that, we are going to recommend to Parliament for cases that are clear-cut with evidence. If you are employed by government, you should be taken through the processes of disciplinary.
This program, the President said, this exchanger is no more corruption, no more sleep, no more politeness. Many people go to prisons because of this restocking exercise. We have also confirmed that in Teso, specifically Soroti, Many people have got the money, have never bought cows. I need the word is restocking. We need to see more cows in Teso. We have been crying. Buy the cows. The cows are supposed to 5, 2 bulls and 3 females.
For the 2026-2027 financial year, the government has increased funding for the cattle restocking program from 80 billion to 100 billion shillings.
Government is stepping up efforts to lower the cost of doing business as Uganda seeks to boost production, expand exports and accelerate economic growth. The Minister of State for Industry, David Bahati, says investment in infrastructure, affordability of electricity and improved roads will be very critical to helping businesses operate efficiently and reach wider markets.
Oil money.
The Minister of State for Industry, David Bahati, says government investments in infrastructure and other facilities are already creating a more favorable environment for production and trade. He says government is also pushing measures to reduce the cost of production, including lowering electricity costs and improving the road network.
We are also trying and working hard to reduce the cost of doing business. First, we are reducing the cost of transport. We are committing to this to reduce the cost of electricity. We want all manufacturers to get electricity at 5 cents. 5 cents.
Bahati further urged the private sector to take advantage of the available opportunities and work with government to increase production, create jobs and expand Uganda's export base.
We are knocking the imports day by day. That's what we are encouraging, import substitution and export promotion. That the things that we have been importing, we need to produce them here.
I&M Capital CEO of the Presidential CEO Forum says improved infrastructure will enable manufacturers, farmers and traders to move goods faster, access wider markets and improve their earnings.
That is not something you can ignore. So the concerns of being able to have access to electricity that is affordable, being able to have the catalyst that is infrastructure, being able to understand what are those incentives that enterprises and industries like this can be able to achieve so that they can grow. That is what we do as Presidential CEO Forum. We bridge the gap between private sector and government, and we are so grateful to the head of this nation, that is the President, for having thought so important that it is important to listen to those who are actually doing the actual job, and then at the end of the day you give them the solutions or you give them that medicine that they believe that can allow them to grow.
The Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, Margaret Muhanga, has meanwhile challenged Ugandan manufacturers to improve the quality and value of their products to compete effectively in regional and international markets.
You traders, I really want to applaud you. Add value, focus on agro-processing, make cooperative societies, build infrastructure partnerships that will link local production to regional and global markets.
Traders in the Ankole sub-region have also called for affordable financing, stronger market linkages, improved infrastructure and greater support for export promotion.
We encourage the stakeholders and everybody that is concerned that engagements of this kind should continue. People come and learn, people come and see their friends, people come and see those who are doing activities of the same kind, they learn from each other. We have interfaced with financiers, we have interfaced with regulators like GRA.
Government says reducing production costs, improving infrastructure and promoting value addition will be key to expanding Uganda's productive sectors and increasing export earnings.
We want to thank the government for the security. We want to thank the government for the infrastructure which has enabled us to supply throughout the country and outside the country. We want to also thank our customers throughout the country. We have these products are available at the factory at Maganjo Grain Millers.
Several members of parliament, mainly from Nyawushozi, Karamoja Sub-region, Mbale, Mitoma, have appeared as witnesses before the Tourism and Trade and Industry Committee of Parliament to express their outcries, deaths, distractions and continued occurrences from wildlife in the neighboring game parks in Entebbe National Park, Lake Mburu Game Reserve and Queen Elizabeth National Park, among others. Jimmy Alur has a detailed report.
Wildlife conflict remains one of the big challenges in national parks and game reserves host communities. Wild animals invade human settlements in drought seasons in search of food. In retaliation, human life is lost and often food crops destroyed. This wildlife conflict has attracted legal battles between affected persons and Uganda Wildlife Authority, attracting billions of shillings in court award compensations. In response to the wildlife conflict, the Parliamentary Committee on Tourism invited MPs from host communities to share their life experiences.
But we have realized that actually compensation processes are long because by law it is provided for. So we think we need to work on the issue of easing compensation for those people who lose their either crops or animals or even lives. Because of course we need wildlife for tourism, but at the same time we need to allow our people have to have where to stay, our people have to participate in agricultural developments. So we have to find a way of balancing the two, and tourism is the only link for the two, urgent problems of conservation and development.
However, in response to the challenges, the Uganda Wildlife Authority has established trenches, non-electric barriers, and eco-friendly beehive fences that double as local income projects. The World Bank, in partnership with the Uganda government, are financing phased construction of electric fences. The initiative is underway in high-risk sectors in Rukunjiri and Mitoma, though funding and terrain constraints slow progress. On the other hand, the government also established a wildlife compensation framework, but budget shortfalls and lengthy verification processes have left many claims pending. Despite the mitigation measures, the Tourism Committee of Parliament is considering visiting national parks and host communities amidst rising crisis driven by competition for space as human populations and agriculture expand near protected areas.
People have been so much that people are now questioning themselves that after how are they going to survive? All the foods have been destroyed by the wild animals. And recently they were even asking me when I went to visit them that are they going to be able to pay the PDM, because all the money they received from PDM was put into agriculture, and of which they thought after vesting they would be in position of paying back the PDM. So they are requesting government if they could speed up the fencing of the National Game Park.
He is still sitting on this matter. So we'll still, for any clarifications, that information can come, or you can come and respond to those issues. So colleagues on our committee, you clearly see the challenge.
Stray elephants, big cats and primates frequently destroy crops, damage property and cause injuries or loss of life, straining community conservation relations. Benon Mukwaya, Jimmy Aluri, UBC News.
The government of Uganda has pledged support for local pharmaceutical manufacturing as part of the efforts to reduce reliance on imported medicines, create jobs and accelerate industrial growth. Sandra Santa Alu made the commitment during an inspection of Deo Biopharma manufacturing facility in Matuga, Wakiso district.
And as a government, we cannot be working in isolations. If the government of Uganda needs drugs, it's really very unfortunate that we have to keep on importing drugs when our own local innovation is here with ready-made products, as you saw. So I think as a government, this time round, there is an all-government approach. It's just a matter of sitting together and realigning ourselves to make sure that we begin supporting our very own.
We have set our bar high. We are not looking at local or regional regulations. We are looking at meeting international standards. We are talking of the Foods and Drugs Authority of the US. We are talking of the European Union Medicine Agency. These are the regulations that we are striving to meet. So this gives us a competitive advantage for us to penetrate the market. So we are entering the market at a higher level than what other players on the African continent are doing. The rate at which technology is advancing is high compared to the rate at which the curriculums of different universities are being revised. Then also there is investing into new technologies that have not been on the continent. But at least we are in talk with different universities, and we are going to try to build that capacity as they.
Uganda National Institute of Teachers Education has engaged stakeholders of the West Nile sub-region to collect views on the gaps in teachers' quality as feedback on the education reforms in Uganda. The engagement, which brought together stakeholders from all the 13 local governments of West Nile, took place at Unite Muni campus in Iowa City. Details follow.
Uganda National Institute of Teacher Education is a public degree awarding institution established on July 5, 2024 to standardize and lead teacher training. UNITE replaced the National Teachers College NTC after it was phased out by the government of Uganda. While engaging communities of West Nile on the educational reforms, the academic registrar of UNITE, Caroline Kavuma, says the engagements will help UNITE to understand challenges in the teacher profession for possible corrections.
Because we think there are gaps that we need to iron out together to make sure that we are working together for the change that Uganda wants to see, the teacher Uganda needs. What is that teacher Uganda needs? So we came here to ask our stakeholders in the Muni catchment. We want them to let us know what is the teacher they need. What are the gaps in the current teacher that they are that is serving the country? And so how can we bridge those gaps?
Yuda Onjima, one of the school proprietors, says practical approaches of teaching has largely been lacking among teachers, something that UNITE wants to focus on.
I do acknowledge the fact that there are few teachers who are trying to do what we call science. That I don't deny. But on average, the rest are historical teachers of science subjects. They're just teachers of science subjects. They're not teaching sciences.
And we want to work with the other universities who train teachers to do a revamp of teacher training. We are shifting from the old practices to new. We are shifting from training a teacher at all level to a teacher at A level, including pre-primary and primary.
The Dean of UNITE Muni Campus, Daisy Aliwaru, urged the Northern Uganda community to upgrade as the bar for teacher training has been raised to degree level.
But I want to tell you that the teachers have woken up from their sleep. They are very motivated. Next year, between February and March, you will see the first cohort in all the 5 campuses graduating. Teachers out there, please take this opportunity and come and we study as a family.
In the 2026 academic year, a total of 3,771 students have applied so far, with 1,600 of them joining the teaching profession using the Uganda Advanced Certificate of Education. Joseph Wadama, UBC News.
Students at Bishop Cipriano Chanjire Secondary School have highlighted both the benefits and dangers they have encountered in using artificial intelligence. Some revealed how they have made money through AI, while others said they recently lost money. However, experts urged government to regulate and take a more active role in the use of artificial intelligence. Take a look.
In this generation, AI is increasingly becoming a major tool, and for some people, it has turned into a source of income. As demonstrated by these students of Bishop Cipriano Chihangire, one student reportedly made money through an AI platform, while another lost a significant amount of money after being scammed.
I got access to a feature AI hub through a link sent by my friend. When I went home, I deposited money into the website and I won 900K after 20 days.
So he gave it a try, and these were for 20 days. After the 20 days, he won 900,000. And for me, who put 150 days, I never got money, and they say the Heart 8 has already gone. So I don't believe in this.
Heart 8 is not his real name. His real name is Future AI Hub.
Najjako emitwalo ena ne wansindikayo emitwalo ena nenkola emitwalo 8 nenziteekayo nengula mashini ya nakwana nga nina kufuna akadde kamu mu mitwalo 6 nenzifuna naye sinazikozesa nkyazirina kati abamu ano Heart 8 yadduse bagenze oba yawadde lwaggulo yadduse jjo bantu bataddeyo sente zaabwe baadde bagamba verification fee.
Although the government has put in place measures allowing students to use the internet to enhance their studies, teachers remain concerned about the practice because of the absence of a comprehensive government policy on the use of phones in schools by students.
Of recent, allowed learners to come in with gadgets, but we're taking it slow a bit. Currently, we're only allowing laptops.
However, experts warned the general public not to ignore the emerging AI revolution, saying it could become another major technological shift that leaves Africa behind if the continent fails to embrace and properly regulate it.
Ugandans to solve Ugandan problems, to explore the potential of AI in solving Ugandan problems. In our academy, we work with students to build AI solutions for various problems. Currently, we have been seeing corruption being handled by our ministers like Honorable Namere and Honorable Balam. Now, what happens is that they're using so much effort to do this. And what AI does, AI is firstly a multiplier of human effort, but secondly, it helps us work easily and better. So on our team, we have a gentleman called Robin. He's building an AI application called Civic Duty.
Ambantu Machabe Semambo, reporting for ABC.
Preparations for the 2026 Cancer Run campaign are in high gear, with Candlelight Property Services donating 20 million shillings in the land title to Rotary Club of Uganda to support the campaign. The intervention is geared at raising 5 billion shillings, supporting the fight against Uganda's silent killer, the disease cancer. Take a look.
Cancer continues to claim thousands of lives in Uganda, leaving many families vulnerable and struggling with the cost of treatment. The chairman of the 2026 Cancer Run Committee, Medi Lutaya, says about 5,000 new cancer cases are reported annually in Uganda, with a high number of patients dying within the first year of diagnosis.
And among the things we want to do is we're also going to have a mobile cancer treatment bus that can move to those far ends of the country and treat cancer patients.
As preparations intensify ahead of the main event at Kololo Independence Grounds later this month, Candlelight Property Services has contributed 20 million shillings towards the cancer campaign.
That has been our contribution this year, and we pledge to continue supporting the Rotary Cancer Run as long as we exist as a company.
The company also handed over a land title to Rotary Clubs of Uganda through Gwanga Muje initiative, with proceeds expected to support the cancer-caused accelerator radiotherapy machine and completion of a modern cancer treatment center in Uganda.
It's the fight against cancer, and these are the many diseases which are attacking especially the old people. And personally, I have had a lot of challenges with my health recently, and when I went to the nutritionist, he told me that I have to do running 4 kilometers per day.
People send money here, whatever money they send, there will be some little money which is deducted to do the savings. And those savings will go either to do those life saving and health service.
Organizers are now calling on individuals, companies and other stakeholders to join the campaign and help raise resources for cancer awareness, prevention and treatment.
The Commissioner of Communication at the ICT Ministry, Moses Watasa, has appealed to the youth to use social media to promote Uganda as opposed to the negative publicity. The Commissioner for Communications at the Ministry says Uganda has lost billions of shillings due to negative publicity on social media platforms. Watasa made the remarks while disseminating yet to be launched national values, as you're about to watch.
And by being just, productive and orderly.
Selected students from various universities together with the task force for the national values convened at the Ministry of ICT to discuss the newly formulated national values. The meeting follows a cabinet directive in 2024 that zeroed on I am a Ugandan by being just, productive and orderly.
We need to remind even us, the older people, that values are a unifying factor. Values help us identify ourselves as Ugandans. They also help us because we have a similar destiny. Everyone is aiming at having a national good.
At the dissemination meeting, the Commissioner for Communications at the Ministry of ICT, Moses Watasa, urged the students on positive communication on Uganda.
What are you posting there? Because when we post, these systems aggregate, and that's what comes out when people enter Uganda. We are competing for investment, so we create jobs. We are competing for tourism. The tenfold growth strategy that Dr. has spoken about. Because the world is now one global village, like I said. So that you are posting is part of what, if aggregated, is the reflection of what people say about Uganda. So what is the value system as you are doing what you do?
He also appealed to the task force and government officials to be the first to observe the national values.
I drive a bit around Kampala. Doctor, how do you people drive? People with the red number plates, Entebbe Road, the expressways. Sometimes we are forcing the people off the roads. I wonder, because the people, not you, Doctor, not you, Commissioner Ken, but you've seen this, but these people are the ones who buy the very cars that we drive. The irony, Richard. So, even ourselves as government, we needed a value system yesterday.
The consultant born to Community International tasked the students on honesty and transparency to achieve the purpose of national values.
Values are, you write this down, values from that deduction are both attitudinal and behavioral boundaries within which one has responsibility to guard and maintain. It's the most important.
The national values, I am a Ugandan by being just, productive and orderly, will officially be launched at the end of August. Philip Aguta for UBC News in Kampala.
Thank you so much, Philip Aguta, for that story. Uganda Free Zones and Export Promotions Authority has hosted the UFZEPA UMA Business Forum at the Entebbe International Airport Free Zone, bringing together key stakeholders to explore opportunities to strengthen Uganda's export sector and improving the competitiveness of local manufacturers in international markets. However, a delay by government to award a tenancy agreement to the developer is risking the loss of a grant worth €2 million. Take a look.
At the forum, the chairperson of Hortifresh Association Uganda Limited noted that while Uganda possesses immense export potential, the country has struggled due to a lack of certifiable pack houses. He emphasized that the Entebbe facility is intended to be a state-of-the-art EU-certified hub designed to increase exports and serve as a model for other regions. Balagade revealed that a €2 million grant from the European Union SPS project implemented by Kabi is at risk of being lost.
Our partners, the EU, are funding us through a project, the EU SPS project, which is being implemented by Kabi. They have set aside a budget of €2 million to support the purchase of and procurement and installation of the equipment, the pack house, the training center, and the trucks called chain trucks, and also supporting us in setting up satellite pack houses which can support this one. But all that one is at still, and we're at the risk of losing it because the project has timelines, and this activity was supposed to have been done this year, and the procurement had started, but the procurement was stalled because the tenancy agreement is not there.
Addressing the delays, Hes Kimomi Alinda, the executive director of UFZEPA, acknowledged that government systems sometimes face procedural bottlenecks.
Government operates as a system, and at some point there are issues which need to be addressed before we can move on to the next level.
Last week on Thursday, I cleared some of the documentation, but I'm going to follow up with the Solicitor General's office and Attorney General's chambers to make sure that that document is delivered to them in the next few days. I have also told them that they must, the moment they get that letter, within 2 months, I want to see this place operational.
The operationalization of Entebbe International Airport Free Zone is expected to solve the consistency and quality issues that have historically hindered Ugandan exporters by providing a certified environment for washing, drying and storage. It will be a channel for local manufacturers and farmers who meet the rigorous standards of the European Union and China's tariff-free market. Wadulo Arnold Mark for UBC.
Educationists in Luaga Division have launched a campaign aimed at keeping students in school and preventing them from dropping out due to criminal activities and drug abuse. The initiative, launched at Entebbe Secondary School, targets mainly secondary school students and seeks to educate them about the dangers of drug abuse, crime and other behaviors that can negatively affect their education and future. Take a look.
The increasing involvement of young people in criminal activities and drug abuse has become a growing concern, with many students dropping out of school and losing opportunities that could shape their future. To address the challenge, educationists from Rubaga Division have launched a campaign to keep students in school while equipping them with knowledge about the dangers and consequences of drug abuse and criminal activities.
To launch the national campaigns against secondary school dropouts in Uganda. The theme of the campaign is criminality as a major cause of secondary school dropouts in Uganda.
The campaign was officially launched at Entebbe Secondary School, where school administrators and education leaders explained the importance of guiding students away from activities that could disrupt their education and compromise their future.
In your office, we shall educate the youth about the implications of judgments against convicts and how judgments can be enforced against convicts.
I noted that some students are parents even if they are still in school. Some girls have children, left their children at home, come to school. It's not easy, it's not good.
Haji Mohamed Kamuregia says the school will work together with relevant institutions, including the police and legal authorities, to ensure that students are educated about the dangers associated with crime and drug abuse.
The management of Entebbe Secondary School invites all the interested parents, guardians, to register their secondary school youth aged between 13 to 24 for unorganized residential training workshop campaign against secondary school dropouts in Uganda. For the male youth, it will be from Monday 24th to Friday 28th. For female youth, it will be from Monday 31st August 2026 to Friday 4th September 2026.
Educationists say keeping students in school requires joint efforts from schools, parents, security agencies and the wider community, especially in guiding young people to make responsible decisions and protect their future.
Kawempe South Member of Parliament Hajat Madina Zedeko has put Ministry of Health officials on the spot over charges imposed on citizens seeking X-rays, CT scans and other services at Mulago Hospital, a public health facility. Appearing before members of Parliament on the Parliamentary Health Committee, the Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary Dr. Diana Twine explains that the charges are intended to support the servicing and maintenance of some medical equipment, but not to oppress citizens.
They have to pay 1 million in a public national hospital.
Noted. Now, as a new minister, I also still have questions for the Minister of Health, so you are putting them to me. Like the question of charges in the Marago and the hospitals. Because in the hospitals, from a district hospital, which is sometimes called a general hospital, upwards, the policy allows for grade A, grade B services, where you have services, the public, and then private wing, where if, for instance, me who can afford goes to Masaka Regional Referral Hospital, and I don't want to line up with the rest of the public, I can go to the private wing, pay, and then I am handled. That provision is there. But I have been having the same questions about charging and the exemption criteria. In Mbarara, for instance, CT scan, they told me they charge 400,000. When the media was interviewing the management, they talked of 200. Then I saw on a clip from Baram's visit, somebody complaining that the official charge is 200, but when you reach there, the workers ask you for an additional 200. So there are those issues which we are confronting. But we shall...
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like a daily bando. Omuliro nguwulira muli mu mutima kukankana like drums. Kalakata, kalakata, enendungu yakusabula. Mikono juu, free of fire, free of fire, free of fire.
We don't need anyone's permission to move forward. What we need is the power to do it our way. Spiro is not your typical EV company. It's the power grid for African ambition. A network that connects Nairobi to Kigali, Lagos to Lome, Dar to Kampala. Not with cables and wires, but with clean, quiet, relentless movement. This is Africa, powered by us.
What if accessing government services became easier, faster, and closer to you? Introducing Service Uganda Centers, a new initiative designed to bring key government services closer to the people under one convenient location. Less movement from office to office, less unnecessary travel, better access to services and information. At the Service Uganda Centers, citizens will be able to access national ID services, passport processing, business registration, land and revenue services, and more, all in one convenient location. Whether you are in the city or upcountry, Service Uganda centers are being designed with you in mind. Enjoy faster service, professional guidance, and a seamless customer experience. This is an initiative of the Government of Uganda, digitally powered by the National Information Technology Authority Uganda, NITA, under the Uganda Digital Acceleration Project Government Network. Service Uganda centers, bringing services closer to the people.
MTN voice bundle. Load. Hey. Hello, Mama. Hey, it is me, your son, Opio. Hey, now, Mama, listen to me. MTN has the offer. Yes, it has the offer. You load from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Now, they have free MTN to MTN minutes. And those minutes are there all day. So you load, you'll thank me later. Hey, Mama.
Load an MTN voice bundle between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. and get 3 free MTN to MTN minutes valid all day. Dial *100 *21# and get your free minutes bully daily. Free your fire with free minutes from MTN. Together, our connection is unstoppable. MTN.
We don't need anyone's permission to move forward. We never have. What we need is the power to do it our way, to move our people, our goods, our ideas across cities that breathe with our energy. Spiro is not your typical EV company. It's the power grid for African ambition, a network that connects Nairobi to Kigali, Lagos to Lome, Dar to Kampala. Not with cables and wires, but with plain, quiet, relentless movement. Every swap keeps the city running. Every ride links one life to another. We're copying no one else's future. It's we who powers the cities we live in. It's we who shapes the world they'll become. This is Africa, powered by us.
Welcome back to UBC News Tonight with me, Sharon Kyomugisha. And lastly, in our stories, I&M Capital have officially launched its operations in Uganda, expanding the range of investment and wealth management solutions available to individuals, businesses and institutions. Take a look as John Sentemo reports.
I&M Capital, a subsidiary of I&M Group PLC, has, following its licensing by the Capital Markets Authority as a fund manager in November 2025, officially entered Uganda's investment market. The company says it will offer portfolio management and advisory services, money market investments, government securities, equities, and offshore investment opportunities. Speaking at the launch in Kampala, I&M Capital Chief Executive Officer Silas Ngumi Mutuku said the company is targeting a growing population of young professionals, entrepreneurs and emerging affluent Ugandans seeking to build, protect and diversify their wealth.
Capital was set up in Kenya in the year 2021 and started its operations there. We are now proud to have our branch in Uganda, and today marks a historic time for us to expand into the region and support investors in Uganda.
I&M Bank Uganda Chief Executive Officer Robin Bayasto said the new business complements the bank's traditional services by providing customers with a more complete financial ecosystem.
Today we're launching I&M Capital. In fact, we received our license in November of last year, but we've been working tirelessly behind the scenes to get ourselves ready to go to market correctly. Focus is on wealth management, wealth creation, providing alternative savings mechanisms for our customers.
The Capital Markets Authority says Uganda's capital markets are also expanding rapidly, with domestic market capitalization rising from 4.33 trillion shillings in June 2022 to 21.77 trillion shillings by March 2026.
Capital markets provide the mechanism through which savings can be transformed into equity, corporate debt, infrastructure finance, collective investment vehicles, real estate vehicles, investment vehicles, and other forms of long-term financing.
Over the same period, assets under management in collective investment schemes increased from 731 billion to 6.02 trillion shillings, while funded investor accounts surpassed 220,000. I&M Capital says its entry will contribute to Uganda's growing culture of investment and financial literacy.
That's all we had for you tonight. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha from the team, and I have a lovely night. God bless. Bye-bye.